Hello everyone and welcome back to some more The Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time we finished the investigation segment of, we did the entire investigation segment of the fourth case, which is neat, I guess. Today we're gonna start the trial of the fourth case, and look, I find it, we met with fucking Natsume Soseki. Did he ever actually go to Europe? I'm curious, hold on, let me check. I'm curious. I'm actually genuinely curious. You know what? This is gonna be really hard to search up with one hand. I just realized. Natsume Soseki. Go to Britain. I'm curious if there's anything. Yes, he did. Soseki was a scholar of English literature, was dispatched to the United Kingdom for the purpose of research for about 2 years, from September 1900 to December 1902. He was one of the first government-sponsored scholars to be sent abroad. Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that. I feel like I should have. Wow, that's fascinating. So I guess that really does date this, doesn't it? As in, this is happening right at the beginning of the 1900s. Okay, hold on, this is gonna be a mess. Okay. Hello, Curb, welcome. I've just been sitting on the title screen for a little bit because I was looking up whether Natsume Soseki actually went to Great Britain. Yes, he did. In 1900. To 1902. Which is fascinating. But yeah, let's start the trial now. I'm really enjoying this game, so I've been excited to continue this tonight. Holy shit. 20th of February, 9:23 a.m., the Old Bailey. So I guess this must be either 1901 or 1902 then. I'm guessing. When this game is set, I should say. Anyway. Well, I never expected this. Who would have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We're on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true. But for the person in the dock, it may as well be his or her one and only time in court. And it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. A little crass? Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. He says, oh, good morning! Mr. Natsume, good morning. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early. I was so worried, but I couldn't catch a wink. I'm mashing through text as fast as I can to catch up. I'm almost there. Well, good luck. So you'll be playing alongside me as I play through it on stream. That's an interesting experience. It's an interesting experience, I can imagine, because I'd imagine you get to hear like what I think's like the solution. Not that any of this game is very puzzling so far. It really hasn't been. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. You can be my narrator. To all literary people take things so literally, that doesn't work in British English. Literary, yeah. Because we say literally, not literally. So literary and literally, that pun doesn't work. Unless you're speaking American English, which doesn't make sense because we're in the land of the British. I kind of hate that. I kind of hate that. This pun really doesn't work. Unless literally is only an Australian thing. Do they say literally in Britain? In England? Or is it in the UK? Or is it just... It's literally like us, right? Pretty sure it's just literally, yeah. I feel like it's such a weird localization where I'm actually finding that there are certain things that take me out of it that I'd only expect out of America when this is clearly said in British. I'm not sure if it would be us since all this are basically drunk British. We are really just drunk British. But yeah. Yeah. I don't want to bash on the localization here. I like this localization a lot. It's been really good. But there are a few certain things where I can tell, like, oh, this was clearly done with American English in mind. Even though we are set in Britain. And that sort of takes me out of the experience. This is something nobody would ever fucking pick up on. You know? I feel like being an Australian puts me in the center of British English and American English. So I really do pick up on when someone's speaking one or the other. You know? It's really fascinating. Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified, too tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can look past the fold since this is involving 3 different nationalities in a sense. Japanese, American, and British. Is it involving American? We haven't met any Americans in this story yet. Or you're talking in terms of just, like, the localization team. Because they would have been American. Look, I'm used to games being localized in American English, because that's what they always are. But I don't know, there's certain things I'm like, Naruhodo, you're in Britain. Actually, I do actually wonder, back in like the early 1900s, when Japanese people started learning English, would they be learning, yeah, in terms of localizing, but yeah, in Japanese, when back in this historic time period, would the Japanese people who learn English would they have learned British English or American English? Because this is something I don't think a lot of people consider, as like English first language speakers, but like I've talked to a few people who learn English as their second language, and recently actually someone told me I was actually mixing up that they were actually mixing up British English and American English, so they had to decide on which English like style of English they had to learn, and they ended up choosing American English. And I just find that fascinating because I guess with English being your first language, you tend to take that for granted, you know? I managed British English. America certainly wasn't as promised compared to Britain back in the day. Probably, yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, I love how I can make this sort of discussion come out of nowhere. I just find it fascinating. Again, this is not me bashing on the localization or anything. I'm liking this localization a lot. I just find it fascinating that these are things that I don't think not like many people would consider, but would do a lot for localization if we don't make American English centric puns, you know? Again, none of this matters. None of this matters whatsoever. It's just stuff I like thinking about when it comes to localization. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, look, I'm sure Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? Got a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked into the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. And there were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mr. Sato? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruto, but I have no idea. Maybe it's because people either are incredibly big fans of the Grim Reaper or something. I don't know. So that all-knowing look on your face is just a coincidence, then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Von Zeeks. Is that right, Mr. Sato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Von Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Von... Oh, the trial... Oh wait, this is a flashback. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Von Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was. I'm never going to forgive whoever localized Bravely Default 2, though. The Drongo Man was so bad. I need to get back to that game. Actually, that is a game I could probably play with one hand. Now I think about it. It's probably not too heavy on just the two-hand aspect. I'm pretty sure it has a one-hand mode, actually. It's just a matter of, do I have the motivation to go back to that game? I certainly will at some point. I need to hear the music. I need to hear the soundtrack. But that is precisely my only motivation for playing through the game at this point. I believe that appearance. I lost motivation to play. That's how I felt after the prologue. I really want to hear the music, though. It's a problem. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. Yo, I'm not catching the stream in the last 20 minutes. Welcome, Bank. Hey, Bank, how you doing today? You got your main Twitter account back, didn't you? I saw that. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper of the Bailey in? Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question papers are asking. By the way, there's also a Blood Moon today. Really? Mr. Tweeter, nice to see. Is there really a Blood Moon tonight? I didn't know that. What time? Actually, wait. Is that also going to be happening in Victoria or just New South Wales? Across the country, right. Mundane. It's the most significant saga, Xeno-saga, of the century to some of us. Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, lest we also forget that the fact that it could spark an international incident. Apparently going to show up in about 30 minutes. It's not dark at all outside. We'll have to take a look. Obviously, the reappearance of the infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention, but there's another blatant similarity with the trial 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Look, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! It's you! Me? Well, I suppose that's true. The last one until 2025. Jeez, okay. Both times, it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example of Mr. Naruhodo of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why was it represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive. That wasn't alliterated this time. No, the Kazuma flashback Y game. Yeah, oh yeah, you just got to the end of the prison section, yep. Hold up, I missed the last thing. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Mikotoba Esquires. I'm in your debt forever. I shall never forget the great kindness for as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way to the courtroom at once. Okay. Alright then, Mr. Natsume. It's time. Let's go. Yes! This is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. My second trial against the Reaper. Speaking of Kazuma flashbacks, I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Made it to be to be continued. Well, there's not much longer until you do catch up. So. I don't have skip text, so I can just, I'll be going slow anyway. Oh, what the fuck? Fair Play's here? Holy shit. Wait, the jurors are gonna be some of the previous witnesses? Oh, that's so cool. That's a good way of, like, having witnesses reappear as characters later on. Oh, that's so cool.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and the defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord.
The defense is ready, my lord.
The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed.
Sorry, what?
Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London, but 2 days ago. A mere amateur.
Do you have a point?
Being a compatriot, do you feel compelled to try to help the accused? I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance.
Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Susato-san. After all, at a previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
Very true, and a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate, violent end.
Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are both in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone.
What am I sworn? I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. Is that like... Oh my god. Oh my god. Is that like... What was it? The fucking ladies first? Mr. First's brother or something like that?
I'm afraid to say I think it is quite possible that mustache foreigner did the deed.
Come on, what are we waiting for? No, you did it, everyone.
Sorry! Didn't quite catch that.
Very well, let us proceed. Opening statement, if you please, Lord Francis.
Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student to the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act.
Holy shit.
Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street.
A knife crime. I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are. Bloody oath. Bloody oath.
Is he Australian now?
Just look at that subtle complexion and short stature. He's one of the dreadful Japanese.
Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, didn't quite get that.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in this great chamber.
I made it to the exact spot as you are now. I can react to what happens at the same time as you. Nice! We did it!
Allow me to call the first witness to the stand, and allow me to get my sling back on for my arm. That's feeling really, really not good at the moment, actually, so give me a sec. It'd be very nice if I can have some support for my right arm that's quite literally fractured. And now I need to get my headphones back on because I took them off to do that. Alright. Sorry for the delay. And sorry that this playthrough, CM, since you're going to be watching the VODs, is being pretty heavily affected by my fractured arm. But, at the very least, let's continue. Normally if I have to adjust something, I put on autoplay, but I find I can't really keep up with the text if it's that way. If it's going too fast.
Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please.
I feel like my voices for these two characters are very inconsistent.
And now,
Your name and occupation, please.
yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard.
Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector?
Does he have an endless supply of chips on him? He probably does. It makes me want chips, even though they're so fucking low poly. They look kind of tasty. Not gonna lie.
The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be. Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been in a comatose ever since.
What? So they don't even know who she is for sure?
Comatose, I see, but her life is not in danger.
Fortunately for the Eastern shooters, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector.
Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at the street map. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on pavement, running alongside Briar Road, a white thoroughfare for Austria-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, unable to take a statement from a ghost. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please.
Case file has been entered into the court record.
What of the weapon that was used?
Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back.
Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scragged-looking Soseki son, I suppose.
A common old garden jackknife, I would say.
Oh wait, wrong voice.
A common old garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence.
The jackknife has been added into the court record.
Now then, what do we know of the murder? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pension, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, where are we looking at some sort of deep state of resentment to the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting a second-hand bookshop, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, didn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes! Hi! If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
Holy shit!
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery.
He probably hit someone with that. If he hits someone and gets tried for courting it, you think we can get rid of this guy?
But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here.
What?
Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student.
Yes, sir.
Alright, I'm guessing this is the one we just press on. Because normally the detective statement isn't something we object to. At least typically. It's only when the witness comes in. This is the way we get information.
As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed onto the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. There's been a number of old books he destroyed. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident.
Why is it in color? It's suddenly in color, hey. Interesting.
Ah, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I'll take the photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector.
Interesting that's actually in color this time.
You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat, denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Well, forgive me, Lord Von Six, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mr. Sato?
Do go on.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part of the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, now that you mention it, when we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what all happened.
As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing green overcoat she was. And just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a scream and I collapsed onto the cold, harsh slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from her. I ran as fast as my legs could carry me back to the accursed lodgings.
Alright.
A green overcoat.
Well, that's exactly what the woman in print was wearing.
Oh my! A photographic print in full color. What would the world come up with next?
The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying accident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back.
There was nobody else there at the time. Just the two of them. The victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes.
This seems as cross-eyed as I could prove to be fatal, counsel. Proceed, please.
Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Oh, I'm actually meant to present. I see. Mr. Natsume's address. Unusually light fog. The unusually light fog is from the fire. Hold it! I'm curious if that's going to play a part. It will. It absolutely will. There's no reason why it wouldn't at this point. Light fog, you say?
Well, light for London. You can see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though.
That's light, is it?
Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course.
I've read that London is famous for its fog, but in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance.
How quaint.
Yes, well, it's not something that Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate.
I see.
And this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed, the other day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage to say.
Sasato-san should have definitely remembered to stop, look, and listen. Stop, look, listen, think.
However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact that no doubt lamented by the accused.
The feeling was really good. There was no one but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement, which was ran off scattering his belongings all over the floor. I should probably take a look at this image. Is there anything in particular I noticed? First of all, no blood. But that, I suppose that's because of the fucking overcoat or whatever. Yeah, I really don't see anything out of the ordinary here. That's interesting. I can't actually examine the knife other than opening it and closing it, looks like. There doesn't seem to be anything in there either. It's all modeled though, which is good. Okay. Victim remains unconscious and her name is gleaned from personal effects, other details unknown. Apart from a single stab wound with a large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. The time it was sum of 2 shillings tendered in receipt of those 3 books. There seem to indeed only be 3 books. Yeah. Okay. None of the old books he just bought, he was on his way from a bookshop. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him. Okay. Check this one. You asked for the help of the famous detective Herlock Sholmes to locate the defendant, I believe.
Stop the nonsense.
Sorry?
That Jack in office, that bitty buzzy, just comes to sticks his oar in whether we ask him to not or not.
But according to what I have here... Mr. Sholmes was shown into the scene by Scotland Yard detectives.
Well, that was nothing to do with me. The lads at the scenes must have done it without my permission.
Ah,
I tell them time and time again. Whenever something happens, I send word to headquarters. And follow your blooming instructions.
I see.
If that meddler gets his hands on any details, we'll all be reading in the Rants magazine next month. And you can bet your last father that I'll be in there too. Stripped of all my hard work on the case. Yes, Mr. Sholmes. No, Mr. Sholmes. Aren't you clever, Mr. Sholmes? That's all the thanks I'll be getting.
Inspector, if the man is proving to be detrimental to the Yard's activities, perhaps I should step in and deal with him?
Ah!
It appears Inspector Gregson is lost for words. Yes, the Reaper's words carry a lot of weight, obviously.
Anyway, the point is that little Japanese bloke's already admitted it. Admitted those books over the pavement with the scene he bought today.
I think, Mr. Naruhodo, if you're unable to sway the jury during this cross-examination, I'm afraid that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed. Yes, they're sure to find him guilty. So one way or another, I have to expose an undeniable inconsistency in the inspector's testimony.
Hold it!
Here we go. The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature.
I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
The bloke during mistake the Florida scene with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at this remap again, I'm afraid. A closest second-hand bookshop to the accused lodging this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place in the corner of Briar Road and Meerschaum Street.
Hold on. Your books. There we go. There's the inconsistency. I had a feeling there'd be an inconsistency here. I just had to press for it.
As it happens, the accused is currently living lodging on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken to get home. Something like this.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from the particular shop.
Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspectors told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Yes, I agree. The most important point in the inspector just being the bookshop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
What?
Could you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of importance.
Maybe.
Oh, well, you know. I mean, yes, it could be a very important clue.
Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, oh my lord. Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say.
Could the man be any more sardonic? What does that word mean? I don't know what that means.
Bourbon Books, you say?
Objection! Alright, easy. If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson.
What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in the accused room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your books. Your Y-O-R-E, I presume.
Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, your books is another second-hand bookshop, not from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection! But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchases musty turns, it makes no difference in the final.
Objection! I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here that might help. Yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. The defendant had been returned from Bourbon Books. Then yes, he would have almost certainly passed the place where Miss Screen was attacked. However, if you take into fact that it's actually another bookshop, your books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed the location at all.
Could that be true?
My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do think there may be a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? Is that what you just said?
Absolutely. It absolutely could be right.
What should just be like next door? Inspector Gregson!
Hey! I just noticed. Thanks for the raid, Cerulean Skies. Hey, thanks for the raid again. Welcome, everyone.
Inspector Gregson, where's this your books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that your books is just here on the next corner of Meerschaum Street going east.
There's no way to prove whether they went left or right then. And there you have it, as you can clearly see now. Oh. Now we just don't know which way he went.
My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown the way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus.
You put that glass down now, or I put it down for you.
Didn't think I need to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming from your books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Fuck! Shit!
Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Also, he has so many fucking glasses.
I suspected you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try.
What did I say, eh? I'm enough of this now. Beg your pardon, Dervisher, would you mind repeating that?
Mr. Naruto, you mustn't give up. What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, then the jury may well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty. She's absolutely right. You must think. You must consider the assertion now, just put before by the prosecution very, very carefully. They claim source psychic son must have passed through the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but I feel like it's the same distance to go either way. The assertion just made the prosecution. Okay, no, this is wrong.
Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. We returned from your books to his lodgings. Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodging without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words,
The blood moon should be starting now.
the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious person.
Objections! But, aha, yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsumi which route he took home.
I've already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning.
Its maximum totality should be in an hour's time. I see. Well, I'll definitely go see if I can take a look at it in a bit.
He claims he has no recollection.
So I'll be getting up to take a break and take a look in a moment. I'm just curious.
That's right. The bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home.
I don't believe this!
I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors?
But even if that is the case, the defense still...
Hold it.
Oh shit.
I agree with Lord Von Zieks, wholeheartedly and in every way.
What? I don't believe it. Does this mean...
We members of the jury are completely convinced now. Very well, in that case I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Oh god, did I just lose?
Guilty!
Did I just lose?
It would appear the jury's losing on us.
You're bad at this game. Oh god. Oh no. Mr. Naruhodo. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of the scales the other way. I have to turn this around. The thing is, I didn't see a reason to, like, if I didn't object, it would have been the same result. Somehow.
Those are the eyes of Quarry not willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago.
Call it antiquated if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and its uncas refusals on this alley.
Very well, then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be both guilty.
Alright, I don't think it's a game over. Judicial findings. Let's see what we got.
For pity's sake, that little Nipponese honesty already admitted himself, didn't he?
If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why? Could have only been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the horses' houses, not in winter. The man wouldn't have gone around those houses, on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? Got work to be doing. Your books, yes, nice shop that. Bourbon books, no, not worth a visit.
Yeah, it's a scripted guilty. Yeah, I figured.
With only minor exceptions, the reason for finding the defendant guilty all too clear.
When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant had then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already.
Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now. Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. We want to force the trial to continue. Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yes, my lord. I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke, you can do it. The defense's rebuttal, okay. Your book's not worth a visit. If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes. I can press, actually. I didn't realize I can press these things.
Hold it!
I can't believe I fucking timed the hold it with the timing of the music. That's so funny. What the fuck? Wait. Wait. I need to say that again. I need to say that again. That was completely on accident. Listen.
Hold it!
I just timed with the music. Holy shit. Oh my god. Excuse me, but aren't you?
Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago.
Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you?
That's right. After the gold rush down under.
Wait! Wait! Down under? Oh, that would be around now, wouldn't it? That was the late 1800s, wasn't it?
I came back to London to work. And it was all just going swimmingly until you started foster skiing around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's referring to the Australian Gold Rush. That's actually... Wow. Actually, that's impressive. It's not just British history here. It's not just Japanese history here. Wow. That's actually really impressive. Sorry?
Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals.
Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge.
Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around. The police have been battering me non-stop.
If I could turn back the clock.
Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. I'm free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given our awkward history. But dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now. Is this not Mr. First?
Hold it!
But you can't deny that there are other fruits Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books. Oh yes. Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fella actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. And at the moment, there's no proof that Tracy did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you want to get us home as quickly as possible. Well, yes. Why is all this true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is when we're on Quiet Road. I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't make up my mind just on one that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone the Calabash Road, it'd be different. Perhaps to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. If my source like he might have taken the longer way home. It's a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to say the thanks to none of you in that one. Probably this guy. Hold it! Probably put those two statements together.
Sorry. Fold it. What? You say? Fold what?
No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
I like the old books they have in there, yes. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
At what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking up books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're talking about.
Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry. Not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and bumped my head. It's always worse after the snow stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery.
No fucking way. No fucking way. Oh my god, no fucking way.
Knocked myself clean out, I did. I thought my number was up.
Wait a minute, let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road.
That's right, I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
It doesn't actually say. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
Sorry, extremely sick. No, I'm quite alright now.
It sends a shiver down my spine to get the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective. I agree, it's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying sends a shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something. Unless you set the advantage, Mr. Naruto. Let's listen to the jurors again, carefully. Okay. Now let me press this. You're right at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him.
Not quite. That is precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was a victim. Clearly, that funny little Japanese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit.
You said Japanese earlier, why do you swap? But let's not forget, madame, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman.
Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly. Blaming the woman simply for left for his own.
If that's the lies you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible?
I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little mind?
I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it.
I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly committed this all alone. No one else could have done it. The accused must be the man. Really, it could have been more simple.
The argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit.
Oh my, you're too kind, my lord.
That went well. For her. Yeah, okay.
Objection!
Let's pit this. Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning.
A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6.
My, whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact we can be so struck at. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates on the day of the attack he had been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He returned to home on foot.
But the man said he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on his way. Someone in a green overcoat, who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we're all aware of this. Poor young woman who stabbed him.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madam?
My, whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you just heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat, and fell over the icy streets of the neighborhood. Hey, look, you know, actually, when I think about it, it'd be mighty convenient if this juror just happened to be wearing the same green overcoat both days. And he doesn't have more clothes to change into on the next day. Well, I guess actually no, the overcoat, he might change his undergarments. As in like, the stuff he wears underneath his coat, not his like, of course he changes his underwear. But I mean like, you know what I mean. His clothes, he will change his clothes. But the coat doesn't necessarily get changed as often. Yeah, hold on. Set my sling on, if you don't mind, just real quick. Sling goes on. Alright.
Oh my!
My goodness, you mean? That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6.
Are you really suggesting that the person in green overcoat with the defenses all collapsed in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman at the end of the bench here with me today?
That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has somewhat of a similar build to the victim.
Well, look at that!
My goodness me!
Sorry, you didn't pee.
And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the route back, the long route back to his lodging. And if that's true, then clearly, the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home.
Oh my!
You know, it's just so convenient that one of the jurors is like the old man.
You radio man, if you hadn't been daft as to be roaming there, we'd have boxed ourselves hours ago.
Really, what were you thinking? What strip of fuddling coat?
What did you say to me? There's crime for order to walk the streets. There's crime to slip over the ice. There's crime to give up the light in a star to wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it?
Hold it.
No, the old man is tomato now.
My lord, I hope it can cause any inconvenience, but
You'd like to change your meaning, I presume?
I do declare that I would. I would like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you.
I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well...
take a break soon. Yeah, I'm gonna do that soon as well. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. That was wonderful. Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It strengthened our position somewhat. Yes, and we'll prompt all the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. I need to take a break to take a look at to get some water anyway, so while I do that, I'll take a look at the blood moon. Thanks for letting me know it's happening today. They'll be asking themselves if the current leanings are really right or not. Now, finally, we could identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. Might be able to flip the balance completely. Yes, that's exactly what we've got to do. Fund 6 is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent. But whatever means we have at our disposal.
Thank you, Counsel. On with the summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord. I'm gonna press this. I'm gonna take a break now, actually. I wanna get some water. I'm feeling really thirsty. Let's save. I'll be right back. And we can continue into this in a bit. Alright. Alright, well, I'm back. I don't know if Curb is. She looks like she's gone for a little while, for about 10 or 15 minutes. That's fine. I will say, there's clouds on the horizon, so it's kind of hard to see. You can't see anything from where I am at the moment. Pretty much no way of seeing the moon, so I figured I'd just come back up to get my water. I don't know how it is for Curb in that regard. Might be different. Plus my bit rate's kind of fluctuating at the moment. But yes. Okay. I'm curious what we want to do here. Attack from behind. Gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. Hold it! What's the work he's doing? Maybe that's a reason he wouldn't have gone around this that way. A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so's my family's.
Ah,
The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids.
oh, I see. That must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. Relate the words taken. It's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes busting left and right in the center. They're up to cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk, it is.
So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened.
Yeah.
By that old bookshop it was.
Yep. There it is. There it is. What? Another coincidence?
Right, Mearsham Street it was.
Mearsham Street. On the map, Mr. Nutter, there are only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need to add that information to the formal statement.
What's the point of that? Come and get to the business of it.
Please, sir. It's important.
Fine, I'll do it then.
So. Yep, okay.
Objection!
There we go. Had a feeling. Those 2 statements are clearly at odds with one another.
At odds, counsel, explain yourself.
Please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
What? I just want to get done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3.
Me, sir? What do you mean?
Juror number 5's words are now extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on a map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Nutsmay visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Mearsham Street, making it impossible. Which means that the defendant's route home could not have been taken along Mearsham Street down Briar Road.
Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Well, yes, you can't argue with that, can you? We must have a good 2 yards or more of the payment up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings.
Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose I must be right, eh?
Juror number 3 said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around in the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice.
Yes! My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may.
Yes.
I don't think in all good conscience that I can say this man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue, so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. What about you, sir?
Me? Well, alright then. There's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Should be filled in, that's what I say. Well, that summation examination is concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The eyes, 2. The nose, 4. So the noes have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Jeez.
Could it seem churlish of me to shrink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising the objection, only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Von Zeeks, it seems I must retract my earlier remark.
What do you mean?
I mistakenly...
I wish I... Why you like this, Bank?
I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Whatever you do, objection! I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth.
Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had evacuated.
That's right. It took me the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it.
Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me, do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Okay, now I'm really curious. British measurement system in 900. I'm just trying to see. I'm very curious. I don't like, this is such a specific question. I feel like, there's not gonna be a clear-cut answer if I just look like this on Google, right? When did the UK change measurement? Switch to metric. Here we go. Those passionate about the metric system also point to the fact that Britain began its switch to the metric system in 1965, 8 years before it joined the European Union. Wait, then what? Okay, actually, wait, that's interesting. I imagine, then, in this case, that Japan, like, the Japanese script for this was actually talking about, some of the old Japanese units. They do have some old units that they use for measurement in Japan only, given that they were pretty closed off from the outside world, which makes sense. Again, I'd have to see the original Japanese script, because I'm not sure about the history of these systems and, like, when they were adopted and whatnot. And again, would they have any concept of the metric system at this point? I know they did adopt the metric system, but you know how it is. It's... Okay, I'm trying to get my phone back into its charger, and that's really hard with one hand. Have you ever tried Holy shit. Oh my god. Can I, please? It should not be this difficult. I've done this before. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh my god. I really need my second hand back soon, please. Less than 2 meters, that's not much at all.
In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend?
Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong. No.
What?
And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your work?
Also, I do want to also point out that is inconsistent. This particular line, 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters, is inconsistent when Naruhodo and everyone seemed to clearly know what a mile was beforehand. You know? That really does kind of, that really does kind of bug me. Well, it's whatever.
And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians passing the site of your work?
I wouldn't dream it. What a waste of time. The catchers would have had a hope of passing anyway. We just turn any gentle folk back when they can. Kids just jump right over us all the time.
I'm sort of back. I brought the lunar clips with me. I can't see it. There's clouds in the way. That's why I started a little earlier than I thought I would. I came back earlier than I thought I would.
The accused is no gentleman, as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring up a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town.
Send you photos over Discord. That'd be nice. Thank you. Curb, do you have any idea of the history of the metric system in and the imperial system in the UK around this time period? Because this is a really, I'm trying to figure out whether this is a localization quirk, or if this is a or it actually makes sense. Because, and especially in Japan, what's the history of the metric system in Japan? You know? Because they're saying like, oh, 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. It's like, okay, they used the word miles before, and everyone seemed to know what a mile was, right? But apparently, now they don't know what a yard is, but they do know what a meter is, so why weren't they using kilometers before? I'm sorry, like, I'm pretty sure this is a localization quirk in the sense that they might have just been using Japanese units here, right? But it's a miles edgeway. Fuck! Yeah, this is really bothering me. You know, it's these small things. I don't know why I pick up on them these days. I never would think twice about them normally. I'm sorry if anyone watching this finds this annoying. I know, I find these small details kind of fascinating. You know? Oh! Is that true? Is it?
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road.
Crushed. A single sentence.
And, old man,
Old man, you can talk.
you say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh, I can't say as I remember.
You don't remember?
How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
Ah! Ah! His name should have really been localized to kilometers Edgeworth for us. I keep saying this. Games need to have a British English option and an American English option. I don't care. I don't think it matters. I just think it'd be fun for the chaos. You know?
Order! Order! Lord Von Six, explain yourself.
My lord,
You have such a trenchant argument up your sleeve. Why in the world did you not proffer it during the summonation examination?
Moon keeps hiding behind the clouds. Come on out, Moon. I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted to see him for himself, how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. Interesting. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over. What are you talking about? My lord. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand.
Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses.
It's next witnesses.
It's not order. Do you not remember? I've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident.
Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less.
I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness.
Alright, no matter who Van Ziggs brings to the stand as a witness, and no matter what they say, I believe in Sorseki's son. I know he's innocent, and I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over. You look like that Macbeth person.
Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court.
Oh god, this is not like what I expected a policeman to look like. Are they siblings? They have the same scarf. Also, this is interesting.
Constable Roy Beat, sir! Nothing to report on the street, sir.
Oh, Rolly, not Roy.
And I'm Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife.
What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day.
No, it was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired.
Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honourable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world.
Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually.
Indeed, apart from weddings off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know.
Yeah, the 20 miles! There it was! They did bring it up. And it's like, oh god.
They can patrol boarding houses and pubs and collect taxes, survey the streets, collect checked up meters, really true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean, and lighting and extinguishing the street lights.
There are a number of items on that list that don't sound so much policing duties at all.
I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago.
But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. When he's off duty, the constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London Bobby is a man of honour.
They're spelling honor with British English spelling. The moon is almost at full eclipse. I was told that 9:15 will be the best time to look at it while I was checking it out. Oh yeah, but yeah. I might take a peep again and we'll see how things go. My bitrate is not being stable today, huh? I'm sorry if the frame rate's dropping at all, but it's just a visual novel, it shouldn't matter too much. And a man of slumber.
On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road.
Our version at least is localized in British English spelling, such as the defense. I actually imported an American copy. This is an American copy of the game. Because I wanted it physically. So I have an American copy of the game. They must have specifically used British English spelling because this is, you know, Britain. But There's also a bit of inconsistency to me. I don't know. This is a weird localization where I see what I really like it, but there are some inconsistencies here and there. Or maybe I'm making up the inconsistencies. Maybe I'm just not educated enough to be able to point them out properly and realize that they're actually correct. And American English hiss.
And they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
That's right, sir. Isn't it Rolly?
Constable Rolly Beat, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir. What a great witness he's going to be.
Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw the afternoon of the incident.
Yes, sir. Okay. What the witnesses saw.
It was our wedding anniversary and Rolly was taking me for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out in the falcon appeared in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help from a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man looked it up. We both saw him clear as day.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this is an extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Oh dear, this policeman and his wife are claiming to possibly identify Mr. Nutsman. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events to establish in the summation examination would be quashed.
It's death.
It's death knell, in fact. Because that alternative was never viable in the first place.
What an unfortunate chancing, and on your wedding anniversary too.
Oh wait, no! But I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon.
What do you mean by that?
I learned, friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without a doubt the accused, Mr. Sosahi Natsume. And one of those witnesses is a policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure.
Except that the man so tired his wife had to do all the talking.
Enough preamble, counsel for the defense. Commence the cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Should I go take a look at the moon? I feel like I should. I know this is a weird thing to do in the middle of a stream, but like, you know? I'm thinking about it like, okay, hold on. I'm gonna quickly go check out something real quick. I'm just curious. I might not be gone for long, but yeah. Yes, go. The full eclipse is already here. Okay, it's here. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about the CM. I'm gonna take a quick break. Expect me to be gone for about at least 10 minutes. Okay, hello. I'm back, I think. I don't know if anyone's left, but the blood moon was nice to see. I think it's still going on, but I decided it's starting to die down now. So, I'm back. Oh, fuck. I might have hurt my arm in the process, but... Hello. Sorry for the break in the middle of the stream. This sort of thing doesn't happen very often. So I hope you'll excuse that. Give me a moment. I need to adjust a few things, make sure I'm comfortable. I should have got some water while I was out. Oh, whatever. I'll probably stop at the next to be continued rather than trying to finish this case all in one stream. I'm not in a rush. I'm enjoying this. Although I do kind of want to get to the next game. Not Great Ace Attorney 2 immediately. Different game. I want to play a different game while I can. But until then, let's get back to the game. Give me one moment. This must be... I am not a professional streamer. Okay. Oh, I just bumped my mic. Holy shit, this is not going great. Hey. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. My bitrate is going all over the place, so I might have to... Hopefully tomorrow's stream will be better, but... Hello? I don't know if anyone's still here. What the witnesses say? Let's see if we can remember how we did this. While we were seeking out for a meal, there's no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out in the fog in the pavement in front of us. Scattered something before running off. Okay. Ran straight over of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. Saw Miss Clear's day. This is the thing I think I need to press. Hold it! Because I feel like there was a light fog. But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you?
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional sight. I'll have you know.
Right.
The light from the street lamps was more than enough. My husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he?
Yes. And what of the fog?
We're famous for across the globe, I believe, but it's absolutely menace to those of us that live with us, of course.
Oh, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your arm.
Yes, alright. I take your point. Now, can you stop shaking your husband about?
The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's all we can tell you for sure. I'm certain that it was that little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling?
Oh, yes, it was you. It was no mistake. The mustache hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the tart mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir.
As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Soseki's son. They saw running away from the scene of the crime. Okay. So that's it, is it? That's the entire testimony?
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I hate to admit it, but hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mr. Beat saw what they really saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So if that's true, where does it leave us?
The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
Oh no, then what do we do?
If Cousin was somewhere here,
What are you trying to say?
I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony.
What do you mean, somewhere else?
Their statement about saying Mr. Natsume is unequivocal, calling them to question more help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to be contradict the fact, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate.
Oh, right.
Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Why do I always seem to be so up against it? Silhouettes appeared out of the front in the pavement in front. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and the other scattered something around straight of nearby police. Hold it! This part. Was it your husband that went to fetch help?
No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I'm a proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Ah, yes, that's right. Ask Mrs. B to go. I was on duty on that point. But Bobby's not only for truly off duty, so I felt obliged to stand guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Beats. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance.
That's right, I said Patricia. You see, I went to the West Police Bowl. Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box? Depends on a crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. But Patricia should have been away the police box for the beat the incident fell under, so she go and report it.
I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There's nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know?
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens.
Oh, please, you're making us blush. Isn't he, darling?
Yes, sir! What Patricia said, sir! Let's move on, shall we?
It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw the faces there.
Definitely doesn't say. Running away. Perhaps the one that they saw running away was... No, that doesn't make sense. Let me think about this for a bit. Get my thing back on. That'd be helpful. Okay. Hold up. Stab in the back. Okay. I don't know if there's anything I can glean from any of this right now. One of them just collapsed on the floor. Hold it! Where were you standing? Two silhouettes.
That's right. They're coming towards us, walking up our road in the opposite direction.
Here we go. This is probably it.
There was a rather plump figure followed by a rather scrawny, thin-looking man.
Okay.
That does sound exactly like the victim is pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume.
Yes, unfortunately it does.
And you're certain that at the time, there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights in Briar Road, you see. There's nobody else around. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Oh yes, that's right. Of course. There was a last light. There was a light fog on the ground. The prayer road is dead straight, and you could see a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's a through lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians.
Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer, please, Mr. Beat. Are you quite sure of what you just said?
Yes, sir. As a cop who spends all day, every day, keeping watch on the streets, I swear to it, sir. As I'm sure. I love Patricia, but it's true. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rolly.
They're still maintaining there was no one else other than the victim of the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened.
Beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run.
Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? I felt the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed?
Okay.
Hold it! Change after work. No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. Beat?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you? Can't you?
I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. Sits you down to the ground, doesn't it, darling?
What? Oh, I just finished my beat. I don't know, we're heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there.
Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy.
Oh no, Rolly. I much prefer you in your uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Oh.
On the end to the point, you're going for a meal after you beat that thing.
I wonder if the policeman was beat and he was in different clothes back. That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending a whole day on my feet. For policing my life, sir. I am the proud only of this, also my city and queen to the end. What's that now? My warm cards I prevent a London copper. This means the founding principles of the force written on it. It's a reminder to all policemen of our sworn duty. The power to patrol the streets of London and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for a noble cause I cover 20 miles every single day without fail, without a grumble. Because I know that the plotting of my brutes is all Londoners need to hear, feel safe and sound and secure.
So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then.
But sir, there's only one particular day I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. This beat puts up with a lot of being married to a bobby like me. I want to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Oh, what a charming couple. You know, such a joy to behold.
If a little over the top, perhaps. And then, kindly describe what happened next. Okay.
Mr. Lowe, sir, can I ask you something?
Yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony, is that right? Is it? Well, out with it.
Well, what? No. Oh no, it's really not that at all.
My husband's a policeman, remember? I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything, like... Oh, I know. What about the books the man wrote? Consider names every single one, but every single one. And you dare question how reliable my testimony is?
Please tell us the names. That'll be incredibly important.
No one will do it all. The Japanese boy has no idea what I'm capable of. When I decided to deal with for insulting us, I don't think for a minute that Rolly will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fists down.
Perhaps you're like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Mrs. Beat. Might that appease you?
Oh, thank you, my lord. That settled things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? Good couldn't even tell the name of the 4 books.
Objection! There we go. 4 books. So you're saying that there were 4 books?
That's right, I remember all of them. The picture of Monsieur Somebody, What's It Yearnings, A Meal for Someone, and the Thingummy Something.
You don't sound so secure on that. Very close, though. Missing 1. I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no, what flaw?
Simply that, at the scene of the crime, there are only 3 books, not 4.
What?
This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books.
Your books?
Yes, and it details Mr. Natsume's purchases that way. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
Only 3? But no, that can't be! I remember seeing them. There were 4 books, I tell you, 4 dirty old books.
Oh, really? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books. What about behind the...
But I just don't believe it. I saw them there! I swear it! I saw them!
No, madame. I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
Objection!
It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend.
What?
What cannot be denied is that those 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair?
This is right, Thurby.
But your plan somewhat recoiled against you.
What are you talking about?
It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect.
Oh!
You see, the matter's not up for debate. At the scene on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely...
Objection! But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books, maybe inside the...
Oh, quite right, only 3 can be seen in that print.
That print, you mean to say...
Allow me to present another one that shows the victim's hand.
The Lion's Pride. Wait a sec. It reminds me of the circus. And the little thing.
Oh, it's been burnt. Oh no, it's been burnt.
Oh no! It's... Oh no! Oh no! Okay, it is relevant. As fucking expected. It's that dude's fucking book. The fucking... yeah. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book.
As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the visual prints by the victim's torso.
No. No! No! Okay.
Order! Order!
Yeah, you see? Look at them, look!
Yes.
Just like I said, isn't it, my darling?
Yes, sir! Patricia's always right, sir!
Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused. on the day in question. Mrs. Beats the titles once again, if you please.
What's the picture of Monsieur somebody or other?
The picture of Monsieur Lecoq.
What's it, Yearnings?
Canterbury Yearnings. Okay, that's a localization inconsistency, clearly. Oh wait, no, it is the same. I swear they said yearnings of somebody.
A meal for someone.
A meal for Gabriel, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Mrs. Pete's powers of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Did you hear that, Foley? The gentleman will pay me a compliment.
Yes, sir, flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless. But there are only 3 books on the receipt. Miss Pete mentioned 4.
There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly the 4th book is that book shown in the photographic print.
I'm sorry, counsel, but that does not seem odd. Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt?
It's not at odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
The victim was holding her own book.
I wonder, what became of that 4th book?
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence.
You are subdone than the aforementioned photographic print of the court. Please.
My pleasure, my lord.
Now the book. The 4th book, which I also want to examine, because it is burnt. Prosecution rests. Hello. Hello.
Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burnt.
You're right. You'll never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages.
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the picture, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
A book recently damaged by fire. Why does it seem to raise a red flag with me? There we go.
Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride.
I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all. So it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute. The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I have heard of a book by that name before. Very recently, too.
This title I recognize too, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yep. Yep, indeed. Okay. I'm guessing I don't actually investigate the...
Oh. I have nothing further to add.
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination.
Futile. I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything was said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat! Marry me, Pat! You're already married.
So perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. The trial has run its course.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, it could very well just make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think. What do you do now?
What do you mean, raise an objection? Oh. I kind of feel like. If I don't raise an objection, though, they're just gonna go guilty, right? Objection! I'm not done yet.
No, my learned friend, it's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate.
Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... I can't think of what to say.
If I may, Lord Van Zeeks, it seems somewhat foolish to close down the debate at this point. Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this.
Oh. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you'll have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable.
Mr. Naruhodo.
One of this land's greatest guiding principles is tolerance. So, the court will hear you, madame.
Go ahead, Mr. Sato, please.
Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to further pursue?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see! And you believe that the new evidence warrants a further examination, do you?
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible. Yes, I understand, and thank you, Mr. Sato. This is it. Sato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord.
Very well! Defense may present at least one further piece of evidence. Evidence apparently offers a profound insight to this case and has hitherto been overlooked.
Take that! The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic prints of the footprints. The fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know.
Yes, I'm afraid, counsel. I must concur with the prosecution on this matter.
When I afforded you
This opportunity. You led the court to believe that the evidence in this question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. Will you identify this clue at once? Do I make myself now?
Yes, my lord. It's, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means it may very well be on the right track. Yes, I think you might be right.
So, counsel, precisely where's the vital clue to this case which this fourth book conceals?
Got it! I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back? What do you... Good gracious! It's been burnt to a crisp.
So we have to ask ourselves,
Why was the victim clutching what was clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend?
Oh,
Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide?
a charred book. There is just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, perhaps, certainly, but it's worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer then, Council. Explain the theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage to sorry Thomason?
It's owner. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner.
I beg your pardon?
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand. She felt it's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers.
Good gracious, how could you possibly?
Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable denials. But do remember, the member of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry.
Counsel, the defense's response is very likely to influence the final outcome of the trial. Tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this book?
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to a couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb.
The landlords?
And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence, some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but all of the people in London, of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadeb herself.
Oh my goodness me! I think you must be mistaken before. I'm not Mr. Garadeb's wife, I'm his maid.
Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house?
I would never assume to know all the books he keeps.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say? You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection! This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house.
Good lord, what sort of incident, Counsel?
A fire, my lord.
What's happened to think of fire, you know? The whole place was full of smoke. Couldn't see a body's thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bloody furniture started up going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
The Lion's Pride.
By Jove, that's the same title of the subject of this debate.
Objection!
This is risible. All you've told the court is that the book by the same name was involved in a fire.
In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes.
And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself from the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garradab was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garradab amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly?
Absolutely not, sir! My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir!
I don't remember this is the fire got hold of them. That was it. Whoosh! Up and smoke. I started hurling things at me. There was I back up against the window on a heavy phantom fire. Incendiary books coming down from the nozzle. The man had his back up against the window and he had burning books. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown in a window and had landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted very evening. There's no report of the Garradab's window pane being broken.
That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garradab household. But is it not conceivable that window was open at the time and... Not even remotely! Let's not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No London would ever leave a window open in the middle of the day. Ah.
Does the defense postulate the scenario at all serious, counsel? Do you honestly think the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mrs. Garradab's wife?
I believe it's a possibility, my lord.
That's quite enough!
That's quite enough! Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward.
Really?
Believing that a little tip set the whole neighborhood alright, and like, honestly, believing that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance. How could you? Nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. Left us selling our family's name.
No, I assure you, that was never my intention.
Bragging upstanding citizens on modern to divert attention from your felony offense. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly forgivable.
To right!
Here we go.
How long have we sat here now listening to this Nipponese spouting his fancy foreign theories? But think about it! At the end of the day, only one person could have possibly stabbed the victim. It's that little hunchback with the mustache, and he ran away from the scene too.
I do declare you're right.
It's true.
Yes, what did I tell you?
Makes sense to me. Sorry, what's that? Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury once and again are full in agreement. What is your position, Lord Von Zeeks?
In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then, one must always exercise patience in order to...
Oh, sorry, I forgot I had to play on for that.
Patience in order to savor the best vintage.
No, wait. Then the mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been...
If books are your predilection, my lord friend, study them on your own time.
What? Forgive the forgive the discourtesy this time.
In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you now see your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for
Guilty!
Oh god.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Oh no.
Thank you for that unambiguous response.
That's twice now. It's over. Mr. Naruto, don't give up. Mr. Sutter,
Have you forgotten? Battle wasn't over yet.
you're not suggesting...
Of course. The fence has the right to another summonation examination at this point. You still convinced the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance.
My lord, the defense, our successor summation examination.
You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve?
I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. Alright. Well. This is an interesting trial because it feels like we are really doing nothing effectively to progress it. But yeah, this has been a weird stream. I'm sorry for anyone watching the VOD. It's been a mix of just kind of hopping up and down because there's been a fucking blood moon tonight, and you know, it happens only once every few years, so I figured I'd go out and see. So I apologize for the long breaks of this stream, but tomorrow we will finish this trial most likely. I don't know if there's a part 3, but if there is, we'll probably do part 2 and part 3 together, assuming I keep good time in regards to starting the stream. But for now, I think I'm going to end off, and next time on the Great Ace Attorney, we will be finishing episode 4 most likely. I hope. I actually don't know how long this is going to be, but see you then.